see if I could get a gauge based on some of the guys from back in the older games, just see if I could gauge myself compared to some of those. But I honestly have no idea.
Rod, what were the emotions like in that last Notre Dame game for you, just leading up to it and through that game?
I think that the emotions after the game were kind of off the charts, but leading up to the game, I think not just myself, but the entire team did a really good job of keeping our emotions in check and just being composed throughout the week, doing whatever we could to just maintain focus on our practice, making sure we had really high-quality practices, and certainly paid off in the game.
Kirby made some kind of mention like that earlier today, that one of the reasons he did what he did when he did it was he didn't want you to think you needed to go and feeling like you needed to earn your scholarship. He wanted you to relax a little bit. Do you think it had that effect?
I definitely think that it was a big sigh of relief when he told me, and so yeah, I guess I'd say that it did have that effect. Yeah.
Did it motivate you any sort of more to go out and just validate it now that you had it going into that Notre Dame game?
I think that you step out on the field every day. It doesn't matter if it's just me or anyone on this team. When you step out on the field, you have to prove that you belong there. University of Georgia is one of the best programs in the country, and we expect to have high level of talent at every single position across the board. So no matter who you are, when you step out on the field, you should expect to go out and perform at a high level and prove you deserve to be here.
How difficult was it for you to keep your emotions in check, like you said, after you got that news?
I mean, the discussion that I had with Coach Smart was very relaxed and and calm, I guess you could say. And he told me, you can of course tell your parents, but he said that he had something planned. I was of course extremely excited, but just wanted to trust him and trust that I was going to get to let the team know somehow. So it wasn't all that difficult to just kind of keep cool. Of course, got to tell my parents and tell my girlfriend, and after that we just kind of went from there.
You strike me as like you have a very categorical kind of mind. You remember a lot of stuff and chart stuff down and everything. Like that kick, do you remember like exact yardage, left, right, wind, and the kind of the scenarios that you were computing in your mind when you lined up for it?
I don't think that I really paid too much attention in the moment that I was doing the kick. You just want to try and treat every single kick the exact same way, regardless of how far it is, how short it is, left hash, right hash, whether you're playing Notre Dame or Murray State, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You want to try and give every kick an equal amount of attention and focus, and just pay attention to details. I think that kind of after the fact, kind of all of everything about the situation, the circumstances, kind of got ingrained into my mind. But in the moment, I was just trying to treat it like it was any other field goal.
How is this program, this team, different than it was 2 years ago when you played Notre Dame?
I think that we've matured a lot. We have a lot of players that are on this team now that were on that team in 2017. We also have a lot of new guys. But overall, I think that for the guys that have been here since that game, we've done a really great job of just maturing and learning how we can handle big games better, learning how we can bring the young guys up with us and just coach everybody up, bring everybody up to the same level. So really, I'd say that I think we're just a really more mature football team.
When you're going through player intros before a game, do you notice the amount of applause that you receive when your name's called?
Not really. I'm getting my last few warm-up kicks in the net on the sideline, and I'm trying to focus on that and just kind of block everything else out.
Cam Noslik tweeted that when he was here, the worst part about it was his name was always called after yours, and it was crickets in comparison. Is the fan support something you kind of embrace?
I love our fans. I love Dog Nation to the bottom of my heart. I know that a lot of them are trying to get my attention on the sidelines when I'm warming up in the net, and they're right over there. And as much as I want to turn around and take pictures with them, I got to focus on the game. I got to just focus on my craft and doing everything that I can to help the team. But I love our fans so much, and any chance I get to say thanks, I'll do it.
That game was obviously a before and after kind of moment for you with getting the scholarship and everything. How much, looking back on it, do you feel like it was a before and after moment for this program and sort of building it to what it's become now?
I definitely think that it was a signature win for the team in that season. We had faced some major adversity, even before that game. It was Jake Fromm's first ever career start for the team, and so just the entire team faced some adversity in that game. But I really think it was a great opportunity for us to learn and develop and just learn how to handle tough situations. And I really think that we used some of that experience that we had from that game to help us in some big moments later on in that season, and also just to carry over into these last couple of years.
How special is it to be able to play in that game, get them back here? I mean, you come to Georgia, you expect to play in the SEC, which has obviously some marquee opponents, but Notre Dame's different. How special is it to have been a part of both of these games?
I think that it's really special. Notre Dame has so much history with their program. And Georgia and Notre Dame don't really have a whole lot of history with each other. They have the national championship game, I believe, which was 1980. I think it was the only other time before these past two times that they'd ever played each other. So I really think that it's been really unique that we have the opportunity to play a team that has so much history and so much tradition, and we get a chance to kind of create some tradition of our own with this particular matchup.
You and the older guys on this team that have played in both matchups, is that a bond you guys are going to share going forward, that you guys were able to play in both ends of this home and home?
Yeah, I definitely think that that's something that we'll be able to hold on to and just hold special.
You ever seen the movie Rudy?
Bits and pieces, yes.
Do you think he was onside or was he offside?
I don't know what part you're talking about. I'm sorry.
What are, as a kicker, what are the challenges of this game particularly? What is it that you're going in, your concerns, and obviously not giving away strategy, but what is it that you think about when you're preparing for an opponent and in a game is the magnitude of this?
I think just trying to be as consistent as you can be, particularly with special teams. I think that, when we played them last time, it was only the second time that, that particular group of guys had been together on special teams with all of our cover units and return units, and we were still kind of trying to figure some things out. But I think that we've got a lot of guys that have returned from last season on a lot of our units, so we can carry over a lot of that chemistry, and I think that really we're just looking to be as consistent as we can be on special teams and do some things to put our defense in good situations, put our offense in good situations whenever we can.
When do you start looking into wind conditions for games?
Sometimes we check the weather report early in the week just to see if we're going to get rain or not, but really we don't think about wind until we actually get to the stadium on game day and get into warm-ups, and you can actually get a feel for it actually on the field.
What about 500 extra seats behind that goal, goal post? Is that going to affect you?
It's more fans in the stands, but it doesn't really have an effect on our game.
Any more questions? Thank you.